What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to our channel. Our channel is The Matrix of Gradelock. Now, if you guys don't know, on this channel, it is strictly Transformer TCG content, so we're definitely going to have more videos. Subscribe to our channel for more videos such as deck profiles, match videos, box openings, and more. Again, we love doing Transformers. We love doing Transformer videos, so definitely subscribe to our channel for more videos. And today's video is going to be a deck profile of Firecons. Now, if you guys don't know, I'm a big fan of Decepticons. I love Decepticons. I think they're better than Autobots. I know I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to hate me for saying that, but I love Decepticons. I think that they're the best. Unfortunately, Decepticons have been shafted Wave 1, Wave 2, because in Wave 1, Wave 2, Decepticons have been getting nothing but okay support, while Autobots have been getting the best support. Autobots got Matrix Leadership, Autobots got Press the Advantage. Overall, Decepticons have been shafted Wave 1 and Wave 2. Now that Wave 3 finally came out, War for Cybertron Siege, the Decepticons are making a comeback. This build is Firecons. Of course, this build is pure orange build. There's no blues. Actually, I'm sorry. There's a few blues in here, but I'll explain why. But overall, this is my Firecons build, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys are going to hate me for playing Flame Feather, which a lot of people are actually not playing in Firecons. But I'm going to explain why. So in this build, we have 35 orange pips, we have 4 blue pips, and 5 white pips. We have 21 upgrades and then 19 actions. And then, of course, we're going to start with the first character, Flame Feather. Basically, I will explain why people don't want to play him. But the main reason why we do play him is just for the fact that when he's in bot mode and you flip back to his alt mode, you give each of your Firecons both 1. Now, that actually does matter a lot of the time, just for the fact that I do want to trigger my other Firecons abilities, and a lot of them do require me flipping more orange pips. So getting that extra bold 1 is actually not that bad. It's actually pretty good because, again, most situations when I have a bad hand or if I have a decent hand, I need to flip like 1 more card. I can't really guarantee hitting a white pip, so getting that bold 1 is actually pretty good. And the other side, the other side is actually more defensive wise. So basically, whenever he's attacked, if I flip over an orange pip, he actually gains defense for it. So let's say, for instance, I flip over 1 orange pip and then 1 double orange pip. He gains 3 defense, which is actually not that bad. So basically, this character is actually pretty impossible to one-shot kill unless your opponent flips over like 16 damage that one turn. But usually, Flame Feather does not get one-shot killed. Now, the reason why I say people don't like Flame Feather, because he's not that aggressive like other cards. You could play Shrapnel, which is actually not that bad of an idea because he actually takes 3 attacks. He doesn't go down that easily, and he has 5 attack, which is actually not that bad. The other character, a lot of people are actually playing Lionizer. Lionizer is an amazing card because it has Bold 4. Bold 4. Not 3, 4. Now, the bold 4, it just increases the chances of actually hitting white pips, which makes it like 8 flips instead of flipping 6 cards. So Lionizer actually has the potential to one-shot kill almost any character. It's almost just as good as Kickback, maybe a little bit better. But Lionizer is a phenomenal card. Again, a lot of people are actually playing this card over Flame Feather. The one thing I don't like about it is that, again, I rely on Flame Feather, giving my other characters bold 1. Lionizer does benefit my other characters. Again, he has to be KO'd to transform to go to my other characters. Unfortunately, a lot of people are smart enough to avoid that. They're smart enough to send out their weaker characters to attack Lionizer to make sure Lionizer does not die, even though that is actually a bad move because Lionizer himself, again, he's a pretty aggressive card by himself. But yeah, so some people are actually playing Lionizer over Flame Feather. Lionizer is actually 7 stars, while Flame Feather is actually 8 stars. So Lionizer, if you play Lionizer, you get to play 2 more stars. If you play Flame Feather, you can only play 1 extra star. Next, we're playing Flame Stalker. Of course, this card basically does is when you flip onto this side, you can scrap one of my opponent's armor, which is actually not that bad. Again, if I'm playing against an all blue deck that plays heavy armor, this card actually comes in super clutch, flipping back and forth. This side, which is the main side you actually want to be on when you're attacking. So whenever he attacks, if you flip 3 orange pips, you get to draw 2 cards. That's a +2, not a +1, a +2 to your hand. Usually this card fixes my hand. Like sometimes Early game, I might have a bad hand, but whenever he attacks, and if I do trigger his ability, which usually does happen. I mean, I haven't had one game where I didn't trigger his ability. Again, he's pretty much the backup plan if I don't have a flamethrower or supercharge. If I can't hit that third pip, he's my backup plan. Just flip him, give him bold one. Again, this card is the draw engine for the deck. This card actually gets me cards in my hand. It fixes my hand, makes my hand a little bit better, makes sure I draw into my upgrades that I actually do want to play. He basically sets up for Cindersaur. Overall, again, he's actually not that bad, just for the fact that he actually has 4 attack, unlike Flamefeather. Flamefeather has 3 attack. Sparkstalker has 4 attack. Keep in mind, Firecons, all of their stats are pretty low. Their attack stats are low. Their health stats are very low, actually, compared to other cards. That's actually one of the biggest downfalls for Firecons. Next, we play Raider Cindersaur. This card is basically the MVP, the one-shot kill character that you should be attacking last with. So basically, on this side, when you flip into this side, you can play another action card that has the orange pip, which again is actually not that bad. It's actually pretty good because again, I can play Supercharge, flip, play another Supercharge, broken. But this is the main side you actually want to be on when you're attacking. So whenever he attacks, if I flip 4 orange pips, I can deal 2 damage to one of my opponent's characters. I'm sorry, one of my opponent's tap characters. So again, usually he does one shot. He does one shot kill my opponent's characters. Unfortunately, flipping 4 orange pips is not that easy. So again, I have to rely on playing upgrades and actions to actually get there. Again, usually backup plan. I might play a supercharge. Who knows? But if you miss triggering one of their abilities, then you're pretty much losing the game. There's been situations where I try to attack with him. I only flip 3 orange pips, not 4, so his effect doesn't trigger. Usually, I lose that game. That is going to be a terrible game for you. Again, Firecons, they have a lot going for them, but unfortunately, they have low attacks, low health stats, and they have to trigger their abilities to actually win the game. But yeah, so those are the character cards, and let's get on with the deck. You play 3 Bastion Shields. Of course, if my opponent's playing heavy blue, if they're playing a lot of armor cards, Bastion Shield comes with super clutch. Bastion Shield is an orange pip and a green pip, so it's actually not that bad to search out for. Grenade Launcher, we play 3 of it because, of course, this is an orange build, so we have to play aggressive as much as possible. We have to possibly one-shot kill every character each turn. This card, I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to be iffy about. I am playing 3 Firecon Flame. Yes, I'm playing 3 copies of it because, again, this build relies very much on upgrades and actions. So usually the Firecon Flame, I put it on my last character that I'm going to attack with. And of course, like I said, usually the attack pattern that you want to do is Flamefeather first, Cindersaur second, and then, Sparkstalker second, and then Cindersaur last. So if I draw this early game, which is great because again, you do want to draw the Firecon Flame early game, because if you draw a mid game, it's okay, but if you draw a late game, that is super bad. So Firecon Flame, you actually want to draw into it as early as possible. So let's say you attack, you're going first, you attack, okay, cool, whatever. And then it's your second turn, so you can actually start playing cards. I'll play the Firecon Flame, so he gets the extra bold one, and then next turn I can set up to give him a weapon that gives him more bold. So Firecon Flame is not that bad. It's actually pretty good. I like it very much, just for the fact that it gives each of my characters bold 1. It's basically almost as good as Matrix of Leadership. I wish I had a blue pip. That actually would have been more broken. But Firecon Flame is actually really good. You want to see it early game. Next, we play 3 Flamethrowers, of course, the staple in Firecons, because again, you do want to flip as much orange pips as possible. Next, we play 3 Power Punch. Of course, this card is almost as good as Grenade Launcher. This card basically helps me flip over 3 more pips, helps me trigger off all the effects of my Firecons, and again, it can potentially one-shot kill a character. 3 Improvised Shield. Of course, every orange build has to play this card because it's the only free double orange pip that we actually have. The one-ofs, we play 1 Mining Pick. 1 Mining Pick is a great card. Mining Pick overall is a phenomenal card. Unfortunately, it's not that great. It's not that great of a card early game because early game you're not going to have that much of a hand. It's pretty good mid game and then amazing late game. So let's say, for instance, I have a hand of 5 cards. I have a bunch of orange pips in my hand. Let's say, for instance, I have 2 of these in my hand and I want to play this on Cindersaur. So we play Mining Pick on Cinesaur, activate Mining Pick, playing 2. So you put 2 of these to the top of the deck, and then this gets +2 attack. So we're attacking for 6 attack at the moment. Flip 1, 2. That is going to be 10 attack in total. Just the fact that, again, Mining Pick helps me put 2 cards to the top of the deck, and of course you want to put 2 double orange pips. And if you, of course, depending how you set it up, you could put 1 double orange pip and a white pip to help you drive check more orange pips. And then his effect guarantee actually triggers. So Mining Pick is a pretty devastating card with Cinesaur. Not so much with Sparkstalker, and definitely not that great with Flame Feather. Next, we play Mounted Missiles. Of course, again, we have an extra star in this deck because, again, each Firecons are 8 stars. So that's 24 stars, and then this will be our 25 star. So this card is actually pretty good just for the fact that I can put it on my utility. Unfortunately, we don't play too many utilities in this deck. So putting this on the utility while he has a flamethrower or a grenade launcher is going to be a one-shot kill turn. And my last one of, which I'm pretty sure a lot of you are going to pretty much hate me for playing this card. We're playing 1 backup beam, just for the fact that it is a flamethrower. It's a searchable flamethrower, but unfortunately it's a blue pip card. It's the only one single blue pip card to actually play. Backup beam, it just helps me make sure that I can consistently trigger off all their effects, because if I don't, I pretty much lose that game. So backup beam is not that bad of a card. Again, it's searchable, it's consistent. It actually helps me set up my characters for next turn. Next, we play 3 Supercharge. This card you want to play every turn. You want to use this card every turn. Supercharge basically triggers off all my Firecon's effects, which of course is the main point of the deck. So you want to play 3 Supercharges. Unfortunately, I have really terrible luck, and I actually don't even draw into these. Next, we play 3 Swindles. Of course, this card, I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys are going to question. So Swindle basically does is I can draw 2 cards, discard 2 cards, and then I can play another upgrade. So with the upgrades, the main one that you want to play is you want to dig out for the Firecon Flame, and of course, if you want to get Flamethrower. So usually, let's say for instance, I only have Flamethrower in my hand, and I do Swindle. I draw 2 cards. And it allows me to play Flamethrower and a Firecon Flame in the same turn. So again, a Swindle just helps me dig out for my better upgrades, helps me dig out for Firecon Flame, and it helps me set up for next turn or set up for that turn exactly. Because again, playing 2 upgrades per turn is very deadly in this deck, because all my upgrades should be able to one-shot kill my opponent's characters, and should be able to help me trigger off my effects. Next, we play 3 Rollouts. Rollouts basically help me get off my flip effects. A lot of my flip effects I do actually want to activate. Like I do want to activate Flame Feather. I do want to activate Cinesaur sometimes, or if I want to activate Sparkstalker. Rollout is a phenomenal card in this deck because we benefit so much from flipping our cards. Also for the fact that, let's say for instance, if he's defending, if my opponent actually attacks him, if I do flip a rollout, that's +2 defense. It's getting defense for the blue pip and defense for the orange pip. That's actually pretty good. It's actually happened multiple times where my opponent attacks him and I actually do flip a rollout, and they're like, wow, that's actually +2 defense right there. So a rollout with Flame Feather is pretty good. Next, we play 2 Peace Through Tyrannies. I do apologize. These two cards are proxies. I unfortunately ran out of all my copies of Peace Through Tyrannies. But of course, in any orange build, you have to play Peace Through Tyranny because it's the only other free double orange pip to actually play. Next card we played 3 Frag Toss. This card is so good with Decepticons. So basically what this card does is it makes my opponent choose one of the characters and deal 1 damage to it. But if I start off with all Decepticons, my opponent puts another damage on it. So basically, with Firecons, I'm dealing 2 damage to one of my opponent's characters. This card is phenomenal early game, not so much late game, but mid game it's okay. Frag Toss, I'm pretty happy with it. It's our 3 of white pips. Our other white pip, we play 2 Escape Routes. Now this card, I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys are going to question. But the main reason why we play Escape Route is to make sure that I can benefit from flipping my cards. This card destroys the armor, and then this card gives each of my Firecons both 1. So again, Escape Route, it's a decent card. You could play Force Field, but unfortunately, in my opinion, I I recommend not to play Force Field, just for the fact that usually with Firecons, they don't get one-shot killed, but it does take 2 attacks to actually kill them off. So Force Fields, I kind of see them as irrelevant playing them in Firecons, but I could be wrong. So comment down below and let me know if you guys think I'm wrong. If you guys think I should play Force Field instead of Escape Route. But the main reason why I play Escape Route, because it's a green pip, it's a white pip, helps me flip my characters to make sure that I can get their effects off, get bold 1 to each Firecon, or destroy armor. Now for the 1-ofs, I play 1 ramming speed. Ramming speed is basically there just to make sure if I don't see my my Bastion shields, or God forbid all my Bastion shields are already equipped. So if I draw into ramming speed, helps me get rid of my opponent's armor, or maybe sometimes helps me get rid of my opponent's matrix of leadership, helps me get rid of some of their utilities. Last card, Reckless Charge. This card is a 50-50. Usually late game, this card's amazing. Early game, I don't really play it. I usually hold it in my hand until one of my characters are like halfway dying. So usually it's Sparkstalker, the first one to go. So let's say he has 5 damage on him. Usually I attack with him, then play Reckless Charge, because unfortunately Reckless Charge, I don't want to play it on a healthy character. I want to play it on a character that's already halfway dying, because again, like I said before, it usually takes 2 attacks to kill each Firecon, because their health stats are really low, their defense are not that great. So with Reckless Charge, it's a great card late game. Mid game, it's okay, but early game is not that great. So that's my deck profile for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did enjoy the video, please hit the like button. If you guys have any comments, leave a comment down below. And yeah, so I love this deck. I love this deck. It's pretty fun. I have a great time playing it. Again, I love Firecons. I love Decepticons. I love for the fact that their effects actually do trigger. But unfortunately, their stats are really low. They have a low health stats, they have low defense stats, and Press the Advantage can potentially one-shot kill each character. So Firecons, it's a great deck. It's a fun deck. I recommend you guys actually try it out to play it. But unfortunately, I can't really see this deck actually making meta, because this deck can get one-shot killed easily by Optimus Prime. Firecons, again, fun deck. I recommend you guys actually try it out. And yeah. So, if you guys enjoyed the video, please hit the like button. If you guys have any comments, leave a comment down below. And subscribe to the channel for more Transformer TCG content. And yeah. So, that's our deck profile for today. And I will see you guys next time. Deuces.